Hey everyone, Rob here, and welcome to my channel. I've been a music lover for over 45 years, and I've been an audiophile for nearly that long, and I have had collected, I don't know, probably 2,500 LPs, around 1,700 CDs, and I just love music. And that is what my channel is here for, is to bring all of you out there music that I enjoy. Now, you may or may not agree with me on every single pick that I bring to you, but hopefully you can find something of interest, something that you would enjoy listening to out of my videos. Now, today I'm going to actually try to correct a mistake that I've made. Over the last few videos, I just, for whatever reason, have neglected female vocalists. And I think it's time that I corrected that. And today I'm going to feature 5 of my very favorite female vocals from the 2000s. And that's what this video is about today. Now, as usual, all of these contain at a very minimum audiophile quality sound, but there's several of these of the top 5 that actually have demonstration quality sound and would be very suitable for showing off your stereo to some of your friends. So with no further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started with these 5 CDs. They're in no certain order, but we'll just go through them, starting with this first artist. This is one of the biggest CDs that she's had in her career. Her dad was one of the most famous musicians, dating all the way back to the 1950s. Who am I talking about? Well, this is Roseanne Cash, The River and the Thread. Now, this CD came out in 2014, and John Leventhal had produced and arranged this, and obviously he did a fabulous job combined with Roseanne Cash's lyrics and songwriting. This thing won 3 Grammy Awards in 2014, and on this CD, she makes every single note, every single word count. Her phrasing, the way that her lyrics are presented, are just wonderful. Now, Roseanne is known to be a country artist, but she's never been really pure country. She mixes a lot of different genres in there, and this one I would say has a fair amount of folk influences combined with country. Now, as myself, I'm not a huge country fan, but this one right here, from the very first time I heard it, positively reeled me in. I think this is one of the best things that Roseanne Cash did. And what's interesting about this, at least as the layout of this is actually presented as a book. And you can see, and I'll hold it up here, the spine is just like a book, and it opens just like a book. And as I thumb through some of the pages here, I'm left-handed, so sorry, we're going to go back to front. You can kind of see, as we go through this, it's a really creative and unique design for the CD booklet itself. And the photos on this really kind of highlight one of the special features of every song that she sings. And it's really like a hardcover book is what it is. So for somebody that saw this sitting on your coffee table, they might think, oh, it's a miniaturized book. But there is a CD slipcase in the very back of it. This is fabulous. This is what I would rank as a perfect CD. There is not a bad song on this. They just flow. Now, some of my favorites on here, songs number 1 and 2, A Feather's Not a Bird. Number 2, The Sunken Lands, absolutely fantastic. Tell Heaven, The Long Way Home, World of Strange Demon. And like I said, those are among my favorites on here, but there is no skippable track, which makes this a perfect CD. So I don't know how much you've heard Roseanne Cash, but do give this a listen because I think this is the best CD she's ever done, and it certainly gets a heavy rotation on my system. The River and the Thread by Roseanne Cash. Okay, next up we have a Canadian band, and this one came out in 2021, so right in the middle of the COVID pandemic. And this, from the very time it was released, got a lot of great accolades from many critics. Who am I talking about? Well, this is Weather Report, and it is called Ignorance. Sorry about the glare. Now, this is the 5th studio album from this band, and their lead singer is Tamara Linderman, and she's the lead vocalist, and she also wrote and produced all the songs herself. Now, this CD is really about the global climate crisis that we are facing right now, and I think that's probably one of the things that really caught the critics' attention. It is extraordinarily well done, and unless you're really listening to the lyrics, you might just get lost in the music and the melodies and not even realize it's actually talking primarily, most of the songs, about the climate crisis that we all face. Now, as far as the genre of this, I hear a little bit of a mixture of genres. This is certainly indie pop. It is baroque pop as well as folk pop. Rolling Stone magazine listed this as one of their best CDs of 2021, and I couldn't agree more because I just love this CD. It reels you in. This is another perfect CD. There is not a single skippable track on this. They all just flow. And I do have my favorites. There are this first song, Robber, and the lyrics have a double meaning. And if you listen very carefully, I think you can kind of understand what she's referring to here. But it's a very catchy tune. And once you get an idea of where the lyrics are going, it really reels you in. And then Parking Lot and Loss are two great ones. And then Separated, Where, and Trust on the, well, it says the second side, but this is a CD, so it's all on the same side. But anyway, there is not a bad tune on this. It just flows. And Tamara has this velvety smooth voice. It just kind of pulls you in, reels you in, and it's very soothing to hear. And she kind of lulls you into listening to the lyrics and the vocals and the music, and you just kind of take that ride right along with her. Fantastic stuff. So give this a try if you've never heard it. This is one of those that's flying under the radar with a lot of music lovers, and it really shouldn't be. The Weather Report, Ignorance. Now, this next one is one that I don't think it got a lot of airplay. And I know that the critics loved it, but I'm not sure how much that it actually caught on with the general public. But this came out in 2006. I have a promo copy. I do apologize for my cat over here. This is Abby. And she is so badly wanting to jump on my lap and be in this video. So if you see my arm kind of moving over to the side, it's trying to make sure that she does not hit the camera or anything else. So sorry about that. But anyway, this CD that I'm talking about is 8mm Songs to Love and Die By. Now, this CD is also a promo CD. You can see it right here. I'll hold it up on the CD itself. And then on the back, you can see the promo wording right there. Now, as far as the genre of this CD, think about if Massive Attack and PJ Harvey got together and let's say they were scoring a David Lynch movie. Well, that might give you an idea of the sound that you're going to be listening to on this CD. Um, it definitely has that trip hop style, kind of like Massive Attack in the 1990s, and it's just fantastic. This is, again, another perfect CD. There are no skippable tracks. It is just wonderful. And the CD is really like a collection of stories. Every song tells a unique and different story. And each one has its own kind of a narrative about it, but yet there's a cohesive whole to the entire CD. So, very, very cool stuff. Now, Juliette Bevan is the lead vocalist, and I've got to say, she is just fantastic. Her voice is very unique. She's got a beautiful tone to her voice. Her phrasing is wonderful. And she's also an actress as well as a singer. So, anyway, 8 millimeter is one of my very favorite female vocals of the 2000s. And Juliette just does a magnificent job on this. Perfect CD, no skippable tracks. And honest to goodness, most of the songs on here are nothing but top notch. The first three, No Way Back, Bones, You Know. And then let's see, number 5, Never Enough, Quicksand, and then Angel, Give It Up, and then Forever and Ever, Amen. Now, on the last tune, she actually has another vocal in there with her, and that's the only track that actually does not have her as lead vocalist only. So anyway, if you've never heard this, I think you would really enjoy this. If you love wonderful, clear, great harmonies, great lyrics, and a beautiful vocalist. 8 millimeter songs to love and die by. Now, this next CD is by a female vocalist that she came out with her first CD, I think it was in about 1999, and it was really one of my very favorites. And I have her first 3 CDs. This one is her third release, which came out in 2008. Who am I talking to? Well, this is Dido, and it is Safe Trip Home. Now, to be honest with you, this is kind of a sad CD, sad lyrics, but Dido has this unique phrasing and quality to her voice where, unless you're really paying attention to the lyrics as you hear it, you may not understand the full depth of her sorrow on this. But she came out with this CD after her father had passed away, and many of the songs on here are about her grief and a lot of her pain and anguish from losing her dad. So, like I said, the way she sings, it really kind of masks and disguises a lot of that pain. So the songs are wonderful. Some of them even, I wouldn't call them super buoyant, but there is that quality to some of them. Dido's voice is so comforting. Really, it truly hides a lot of the blues that she was feeling during this time period. Now, this made several critics' best of lists for 2008. And to give you a little bit of trivia on this, Mick Fleetwood, Fleetwood Mac, does a lot of the drumming on several songs on this CD. Dido is a British singer and songwriter, and like I said, most of the songs on here deal with the passing of her dad. So there is a lot of depth to these that really is just powerful. And they're melodic tunes. And again, they just reel you in. Just hauntingly beautiful songs. So if you've heard Dido, if you like Dido, but have not heard this one, do check it out, because to me, I think this might be the best thing she ever did. And I really did like her first CD, but I think this one's every bit as good, maybe even slightly better. Dido, Safe Trip Home. Okay, last CD for the day. This is probably one of the most famous artists on this list, at least the most famous artists from the 2000s. Now, she came out with her debut in 2002, and she really knocked it out of the park. It got a lot of really critical praise, and the critics just really enjoyed it. But when she started, she was mostly a jazz artist. Now, who am I talking about? Well, this is NoraJones' Little Broken Hearts. Now, this is her fifth release, her fifth studio album. And Nora wrote these songs, actually co-wrote them with a guy that's known by the name of Danger Mouse. He also produced this album, and both he and Nora collaborated over a 2-year period to put this CD together. And wow, 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 did they ever do a great job. Now, this might not be the Nora that you know. Her first 2 releases are squarely in the jazz genre. This has no influence of jazz on it whatsoever. This is pure indie pop, and it is wonderful indie pop. She's changed her sound, and much to the better. To me, I like this better than any other NoraJones CD that I've heard, and to me, this is the very best one that she's done. Mostly the critics enjoyed this. There were a couple, 2 or 3 that thought it was okay, maybe a little better than okay, but the vast majority of critics really gave it high praise, as well it should have been. NoraJones, because of the jazz influence she had on her first couple of CDs, she has this wonderful ability with that warm, rich voice of hers to have great phrasing. And she just knows how to bring a song across to make it very special. And that is apparent on this CD. Now, this is also a fairly emotional CD, although unless you're really listening to the lyrics and digging in deep, you probably wouldn't know that. But Nora was going through quite a bit of pain, heartache, and anguish on this album because she had broken up with her boyfriend, and it was a tough breakup, a very tough breakup. And so on this, she kind of pours her heart out into a lot of the songs that she has co-wrote or co-written with Danger Mouse. So there is that element to it, and to me, that's what makes this CD so special, because this is heartfelt music, and it's wonderful. NoraJones really hits this one out of the park. Her heartbreak really makes this music sing, and it's kind of sad to think, but you know, a lot of artists out there, to me, really kind of create their magnum opus, some of their very best stuff, in either one of 2 respects. Either number one, everything is going fantastic and they're in a great, positive, loving relationship, or they're in an anguished, maybe sad, depressed state, and all of that just pours out into heartfelt lyrics. And that's kind of the way this CD comes across, and this is sensational. This is another, what I would call, perfect CD. It has great sound quality, maybe not quite audiophile quality, or I'm sorry, it is audiophile quality, but maybe not quite demo quality. But Nora's voice is warm, it's rich, it's in the room with you. Now, really this thing has delicious melodies on it that really will melt your heart. Combining the melodies with Nora's voice, with the lyrics, it just all clicks, it all just works. Perfect CD, no skippable tracks, but I do have a few favorites. And songs number 1 and 2, which start off the CD, Good Morning and Say Goodbye. And then number 6, After the Fall, and number 7, 4 Broken Hearts. Those 4 songs are absolutely killer. And the other songs are great, don't get me wrong, but these 4 truly stand out as among the very best on here. So, once again, if you've not heard this one by NoraJones, This is going to be different than probably a lot of the stuff you heard in the early 2000s from her first, say, 2 or 3 releases that were primarily jazz. And it might throw you a little bit because this is also a Blue Note label release. And Blue Note is known for their jazz, but this is not jazz. To me, I don't hear anything jazzy on it. So anyway, NoraJones, Little Broken Hearts, one of the very best things she's ever done. Okay, folks, that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to the video. I greatly appreciate that. And if you've liked what you've seen, maybe gotten something out of this for a music choice or two for your collection, please do hit the like and subscribe buttons because that really helps my channel to grow and it helps me to bring these videos to you. And I know for many years as an audiophile and music lover, I was chomping at the bit to learn about some great, fabulous music out there that was flying under the radar that I didn't know about. And anytime I went to a forum or anytime somebody had a YouTube video or something else that they were recommending great sound and great music, I was all about that. So that's what my channel is all about, to do that very same thing for all of you. So anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. And you take care. Have a great, wonderful rest of your week. And I'll see you in about a week or so.